Hi, I'm Leila Alieva. I've been working as a real estate professional for quite some time. And one thing that always comes as a surprise for people new to the Keys or even locals that Airbnb is not something you can start doing right after you purchase your house or a condo. In this video, I'd like to shine some light on the topic of vacation rental properties and your options if you plan to buy one as an investment. Stay tuned to learn whether or not you can rent your house out nightly through Airbnb or VRBO in the Florida Keys. You can, but there are some hoops. Why could monthly vacation rental be a better alternative? How is Key West different from the other Keys? And the most important one, how not to get in trouble while renting your own place out. Key West is a very desirable destination. According to Key West Travel Guide, almost 500,000 people flew into Key West in 2019. And we all know what happened in 2020, right? Even then, almost 300,000 people arrived to Key West. And 2021 is not over yet, but already more than 1 million people came out of the airport arrival terminal. Kudos to airport staff, they working extra hard this year. To put in perspective, compare 1 million visitors to only 24,000 people that call themselves residents of Key West. Mind-blowing. All those people need a place to stay, which is limited since the island is only 2 by 4 miles, and quarter of an island is occupied by an airport. Supply and demand, you know where I'm going with this. In high season, an average room can cost you $1,000 a night. This is where private Airbnb and VRBO listings come to play. Let's take a look at one. This house is listed on VRBO for $1,000 a night, subject to change. This is a residential building with a Transient license, which allows it to be rented out for less than a month. More on that later. The house next to it is very similar, but it doesn't have a Transient license, which is an opportunity for a non-Transient license to be listed as a vacation rental, month to month. Around $10,000 a month in Paradise. Easy. It's still way cheaper to rent this kind of house for your vacation if you split the cost between all parties in the group. Down in the description, you can find links of available for purchase properties with Transient license, as well as opportunities for monthly rental. Always up to date. And now let's change the location and talk about licensing. By now, you should have an idea of how much money is flowing through the vacation rental market. This kind of cash flow requires some regulations, and regulations we have. Remember that Transient license that I mentioned before? Yeah, you need a special license to be able to rent your own place nightly or weekly. Bummer, I know, but let's look into the licensing side of things. It's not all that scary. I'm not going to talk about state requirements here, since we are talking about local specifics. Besides, it's relatively easy to meet state requirements. So, there are two types of vacation rental properties, Transient and non-Transient. Let's start with Transient one. Similar to a hotel, with this type of license, weekly or nightly rentals are allowed. In other words, everything less than a month. The city stopped issuing this type of licenses quite a few years ago, but grandfathered all licenses that were in existence. According to the city officials, there are two main reasons why they did so: to give the city an ability to maintain a reasonable and safe time to evacuate all the people, and the quality as well as availability of housing for people who work here. With this type of license, you can expect to see a return of 10 to 12% on the gross purchase price. Not surprisingly, Transient license properties sell at a premium or above asking price. It's a valuable asset. Oh, by the way, renting nightly or weekly without such a license could get you in this kind of trouble. The non-Transient license, on the other hand, is more accessible and less troublesome way of doing business. Any single-family home can be licensed as non-Transient. This type of license is available for a minimum rental period of 30 days. But if you're seeking a rental investment located within a condo association, this time frame might be different. Some associations have a minimum of 3 or 6 months restriction placed, or you must own this condo for a particular amount of time before you can rent it. With a non-Transient license, you can expect to see less return on the gross purchase price. Homes with this type of license have a lower purchase price compared to the ones with a Transient one. In spite of this, there is a great demand in the Florida Keys for licensed rentals. In every neighborhood, these homes have a great appeal, even being monthly rentals. For some owners, though, monthly rentals are more desirable since they don't have to deal so often with check-ins, check-outs, everyday cleaning, and the all other hassle attached, which helps to reduce operational expenses. And for a family or a group of friends, such rental keeps the budget reasonable per person in comparison to a hotel room. Plus the privacy in the backyard pool. All this is true for Key West, but there are some other islands with different regulations. Let's take a look at the map. For example, Marathon Key, the city of Marathon has slightly different rules about weekly vacation rentals. They are allowed almost everywhere in Marathon except for associations, since they have their own regulations. By the way, I will leave a link to the map in the description below. These areas are staying popular for monthly vacation rentals, since it's not busy as Key West and is closer to nature. Let's round this up. And if you're thinking that I'm giving you legal advice here, I'm not. Please consult local city officials or your attorney before making any sudden moves. And remember to check the links in the description below to find all of the information and sources that are used in this video. Back to the video. We went over some numbers and licensing differences for two types of vacation rentals. We also discussed opportunities on the islands other than Key West. If the math is done right, getting a vacation rental in Key West can make you some pretty penny. Plus, you get to enjoy these beautiful islands whenever you want to. And I am just one call away to provide you with guidance and support so that you don't miss any opportunities whenever you're ready to make a big move. My contact information is on the screen as well as in the description below. Call me. Make sure to check out the fresh list of the properties with a transient license, as well as single-family houses without one for non-transient opportunities. Yours truly, Leila Alieva, an agent who makes things easy.